Hey everybody, welcome to another Ready State Loop. I'm Eric,
And I'm Justin.
and we're here to give you our top 5 reasons for why the PlayStation 5 is going to win this console war.
This is part 2 of our two-part series where we examine both the Xbox and the PlayStation and the trajectories of their business that might crown them the winner of the next console war.
And to get things started, we'll start with number 5 of our countdown, the ever-expanding PlayStation Now.
If you looked at Sony's 2020 Q1 earnings report, you might have noticed that they made a ton of money. Despite Sony knowing that there would be declining sales of their hardware, one of the major things that happened was both digital sales and services was more than capable of picking up the slack and driving the PlayStation unit to making handsome sales. With Microsoft sort of stepping in with Game Pass and really showing that Game Pass as a service has a lot of credibility and Microsoft is doubling down, this leaves a wide open strategy for Sony to capitalize on. They have PlayStation Now, and they know it's a profit generator. PlayStation doesn't have to go far to create a killer app of PS Now. For them, they already have like this library of amazing games that everybody loves that they're just not really utilizing in the same way that Microsoft has chosen to utilize their Xbox Studio software.
You know, at the very least, it's safe to say that Sony can remain competitive with Microsoft by expanding what they're doing with their PlayStation Now to meet, if not exceed, what Microsoft is attempting with Game Pass.
And with a great service that can pick up a lot of their user base, they can greatly change the trajectory of their profits as a unit, the PlayStation unit, the PlayStation group within Sony, without having to move hardware, which is a loss leader almost every single time. So, with great services come great responsibilities. All right, let's move on. In number 4, we have momentum.
So in this generation, this being the current generation, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Sony has dramatically outsold Microsoft in terms of the global space. We're sitting somewhere roughly just under 114 million units for the PlayStation 4, and the Xbox has sold just under 49 million. That's over twice as many consoles sold globally, not necessarily within one region, but throughout the world, to the overall gaming population. Furthermore, Sony's software tie-in rate, the attach rate, whatever, for the PlayStation 4 has been roughly around 8.76. What that means is for every PlayStation sold, the average number of games that the PlayStation owner will buy is 8.76. The equivalent number for the Xbox One is 6.55. So not only are there more PlayStations being sold, but there's more software, more games are being sold on the PlayStation than on the Xbox. So what that means is that the PlayStation gamer is more invested in the PlayStation ecosystem. The Sony PlayStation gamers each will have on average 8-point-something games that they will be able to play with their backwards compatible PlayStation 5. What's more, and this is somewhat more subjective, but the PlayStation brand seems to have more cachet globally than the Xbox brand does.
With both the strength of the PlayStation brand and the loyalty developed over the PlayStation 4's, 6+ years, and the games that people have accumulated on the platform, it's going to be really difficult sell for them to abandon the platform and move to Xbox.
And that will bring us to our reason number 3, strong Sony studios.
Through the PS4 generation, Sony had finally sort of weaponized the studios that they developed over the course of the generation and leading up to it too. The PS3, many of the studios that we know and love today really got their strong footing during the PS3. Took an interesting approach to their studios and created this cross-collaborative group of talent that was able to develop strong stories, develop strong characters, and develop strong gameplay to really raise the bar for first-party games, and what first-party games could do in terms of telling compelling experiences for the players. We'll see a lot more of those that from the strength of their studios alone. Like, they know how to do this, they know how to replicate it. They've created an entire system for it, and now the PS5 generation, I think, is prepped to see the payoff of that. You're even seeing this with third-party studios, like Sony's partnership with Housemarque. They worked on a bunch of PSN games, but now they're developing a Sony exclusive title called Returnal. So I'm working with a top talent studio for their own IP. Again, this happened with Bloodborne and utilizing the talented team at From Software, who had already proven themselves with the Souls games.
What's unique about Sony in this case is the fact that they're willing to use their own internal teams as strike teams to go in and say the game's not developing the way that they like it. They will, pluck some of the developers from one studio of their studios and bring them in and say, fix this, please, or help them out, assist them with producing the experience that we want to provide our players. It's definitely a new approach for them, and I think it shows their drive and desire to create top tier experiences, with little to no risk in terms of missing the mark.
And I think it does show maturity and the structure of their studio machine. That the talent is willing to move around, that they're willing to develop IPs outside of their in-built talent. They're willing to build up new studios that haven't produced a single title but can work on new IPs. They know how to leverage that talent from their other studios to go, I think we can develop a brand new IP that might not sell 14 million units like a God of War will, but could sell 8 million, and then by number 2 we get the 14 million that we're looking for. And that brings us to number 2, Xbox on PlayStation.
We called out Xbox Game Pass last week as one of the big reasons that Microsoft is going to beat Sony this round. But in this case, it could be that actually ends up helping Sony. And the reason that we say that is the Xbox Game Pass is already shown to be working on the Xbox, the Windows, Android devices. At that point, what's one more? Why not have it play on the PlayStation? And if you do that, then anyone who wants to play the great PlayStation exclusive titles can buy the PlayStation. And if they also want to play the Xbox exclusive titles, they just get a subscription to Game Pass. Now you have one console that has all of the great titles, and that could be what puts the PS5 out over the Xbox Series X.
Yeah, and I'd say this, it's probably a bit far-fetched, and it's probably not because of Microsoft. It would be because of Sony going, I don't think we want an Xbox, streaming platform on the PlayStation. But I think the basic argument remains, which is $400, $500, $600 to buy into a gaming ecosystem is a lot to ask. Never mind doing it twice to get both the top Xbox content and the PlayStation content. The most fiscally responsible decision to make would be, I want to buy the PlayStation, get the PlayStation exclusives, and then I'm okay with getting the rest of the Xbox exclusives via Game Pass.
And that'll bring us to our final reason, the number one reason why Sony will win this console generation war, is that Sony pushes IP beyond games.
I think Sony's greatest strength has been in the properties that they've developed. It's The Last of Us, it's Uncharted, it's Ratchet to a lesser degree, it's now Ghost of Tsushima. Their studios have just consistently proven that they're able to knock out content left and right. And I think Sony's taking a look at this and going, yes, we have these great, widely appreciated IPs. We also have studios that their entire responsibility is pushing TV and pushing movies out to a broader audience. Like we've said before in one of our older videos, The Last of Us is now coming to HBO as a series. Uncharted is finally shooting again. and is developed into a movie.
So it's pushing the IP to the multimedia instead of just games. It's games and movies and television shows. It's kind of what Marvel has been doing with their content in almost in reverse, where you, instead of taking from comics and saying, okay, now movies and TVs and games, it's going, okay, games and now movies and TVs and comics. Yep. Multiple TVs.
And as gamers, like, we know the sort of the investment we have in the characters that have been given to us by Sony. Like how we're connected to Joel, or how we connect to, Ellie, Drake, right? And it's about time that the rest of the world finally gets to see appreciation in the same characters. With that said, that's our 5 reasons why PlayStation will win this console generation.
Oh yeah.
If you like this content, let us know. Comment. If you have any ideas on what you want us to cover next, either for us to take a critical look at a game, or to cover a business topic, or a bit of a deeper topic than just like, I like this game. Let us know what it is, and we'll let you know if we pick it up.
Stay safe, everybody. Stay healthy. Have fun, and we'll see you next time.